Has been a very rough day. One of our toughest rounds of winter wind we've had this season, and it continues here this afternoon. This is our latest view in the Hankinson area. You can see the wind really making those flags fly this afternoon, and the foreground looking okay for visibility, but in the background, tough to make out any vehicles on I-29 south of the interstate if we've got any traffic there, and then even beyond the Sisseton Hills not visible here. So again, there are still a lot of areas struggling because of that wind continuing to blow around our snow. Now let's take a look at conditions as we are making our way into the afternoon. Wind speeds, we are looking at winds that are gusting into the 40s and at times into the 50s as well. Some good news is we've seen the wind gust in Fargo kind of taking a little dip into the 40s from time to time. We've been hitting at 50 or above for hours now, so just to see that little dip is promising. And Grand Forks, a similar situation. We're still gusting into the 40s. That's still causing problems out there, but seeing some hints that we may be easing things up a little bit. Still gusting to 53 in Sisseton, so intense there, and other places gusts into the 40s. But little by little, it will start to get better here. It's just going to take a while. So even through the afternoon, we're looking at blizzard conditions likely in some of the same areas we've been dealing with it. Visibility down in Detroit Lakes, Fargo, Wahpeton, all at a half mile at the moment. Crookston's at a quarter mile and less than a mile in Hallock and Grafton, and surrounding areas also seeing reductions in visibility. And there's a lot of space between these reporting sites, so there could be some areas that are even worse off at this point in time. So again, this is ongoing, and our temperatures have been taking a slide too. It's a north wind, and that is that colder air rushing in, and we're looking at temperatures that are dropping below zero. We're at 2 below right now in Fargo, 9 below in Grand Forks, and right at 0 in Detroit Lakes. So a lot cooler now than we were even earlier this morning. And our wind chills are even more brutal. Check this out. We're looking at a lot of places into the 30s below in some of these spots where we have the strongest winds. Fargo, 30 below, 38 below your wind chill right now in Grand Forks. So again, this is when we start warning you about making sure you're covering up as you step outside because of the threat for frostbite. So take this seriously and maybe just stay home again. If you run into any trouble with the weather out there, you get stranded, stuck, vehicles have been sliding off the road all day long. And conditions are going to be in a situation where we're looking at some possibility where you're stuck out there for a while, and then you're out there in these temperatures and wind chills. We're looking at some numbers that are going to be down into that sub-zero range this afternoon, and wind chills again in these pink numbers in the 20s and 30s below zero. And we just keep that slide going. Even as we start to clear out, our numbers will start to dip, and our wind chills will go along with that. Now, I do want to focus in on our winds because by 10 o'clock, it's more into the teens to some 20s. Still breezy, maybe still getting some light drifting going on, but we really notice a difference in our winds gusting. That comes down quite a bit. So some improvements for tonight. And by tomorrow morning, we're a lot quieter. Calm, in fact, in some areas. And we're looking at temperatures really taking a dip. Some teens to some 20s below zero. And again, if we do have any wind at all, we're looking at wind chills in that 20 to 30 below range. So it's going to be a cold one coming up for Saturday morning. Some clouds associated with it. The wind does turn around, and we may see just a brief round of very light precipitation. I'm not expecting a big wind pickup here with this though one. So just a little bit of light precipitation in the form of snow that may end up leading to some spotty areas on the road surface. But overall, a quieter round of some light snow if we see it on Saturday. Sunday, a little bit better bet for some snow and conditions that warm up just slightly, but no big winds coming our way, at least through the weekend after we finally get done with today. But it's still hazardous out there. So once again, take it seriously, and roads are still closed. So might as well just stay home and stay warm.
Absolutely. We've seen so many officers responding to 7 injury crashes in Minnesota. It's been dangerous today.
My goodness. Let's hope that number comes down fast.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.